History and background. In 2005, CIMB acquired GK Co Securities in Singapore in a major corporate restructure to create a universal bank. CIMB acquired sister company Bumiputra Commerce Bank from holding company CAHB. Holding company CAHB is renamed Bumiputra Commerce Holding Berhad. In 2009, CIMB Group launches retail banking operations in Singapore. CIMB Group acquires a 19.99% stake in the Bank of Yinco, China. Holding company BCHB renamed as CIMB Group Holdings Berhad. CIMB Singapore Services. Banking products and services, investment banking, equities brokerage, research coverage, asset management, personal loan, CIMB renovation loan, CIMB education loan, property loan, private property loan, HBD home loan, overseas property loan, CIMB London property loan, CIMB Australia property loan. Target market: income earners, for example, saving accounts, current accounts for salaries, business owner, for example, current accounts, company accounts, and online payment service. Affluent Singaporeans, for example, investment banking, asset management, equity brokerage, etc. Home buyers, for example, property loans locally and overseas. Loan seekers, for example, property loans, personal loans, educational loans, etc. Number of workers or branch. CIMB in Singapore had 2 branches, 2,77,000 customers, 6 ATMs, and over 1,300 staff at the end of 2011. 7 international market have entered international market via the below offerings: overseas property loans, CIMB London property loan, CIMB Australia property loan, global banking needs, overseas investors. Customer complaints, if any. Horrible customer service. Customer service hotline not responsible. Credit card is misleading and has underlying T&Cs not relayed to the customer. Rude staff. Encounter a rude and unprofessional staff from AYS V Young, who had argued with me for a constructive feedback which I had given to him for his unprofessional service. He has also refused to refer my complaint against him and kept defending himself for doing no mistake. Lucy, an untrained banker, which damaged the brand of CIMB. Background: CIMB. How long involved? CIMB Group Holdings Berhad in Malaysian Universal Bank headquarters in Kuala Lumpur and operating in high-growth economies in ASEAN. CIMB Group is an enduring ASEAN investment bank. CIMB has a wide retail branch network with 1,080 branches across the region. The bank was formed from the merging of various banks that had existed throughout the decade. Lianjiang Bank, established in 1924 in Kuching by V. Heng Sheng, it was renamed Bank of Commerce Berhad BCB following its purchase by the UMNO-owned Fleet Group in 1979. The bank had RM36 million and total assets and total shareholders funds of RM12.8 million in 1982. Ben He Lee Bank BHLB, established 1935 in Penang by Jip Chow Lee. Its original focus was serving local business in their trading and merchant activities. In 1960, it branched out into real estate and home financing. By the 1990s, it had become a modern financial institution. It was then listed on the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange on the 7th January 1991. Bank Lipu, founded in 1948, its headquarters in Tangerang, Indonesia. Bank Niaga, established as a national private bank in 1955, it later expanded to become a full-service bank in 1947. Service Bank in 1974. Southern Bank Berhad SPB, founded as Southern Banking Limited in 1965, starting out in Penang and expanded to Kuala Lumpur. Its products include wealth management products, credit card and loans for small and medium enterprises (SME). Bank Bhumiputra Malaysia Berhad BBMB incorporated in 1965. By 1980, it had become the largest bank in the country in terms of assets and was the first domestic bank to have operations in New York, London, Tokyo, Berhad, and Hong Kong. United Asian Bank Berhad UAB, established in Kuala Lumpur in 1972. UAB's primary purpose was to encourage enterprise among less prosperous sections of the country. Pertanian Ben and Sanwa multinational brand PBS incorporated by the bank Pertanian Baring Brothers multinational bank of the United Kingdom and Sanwa Bank of Japan in 1974. It was renamed Commerce International Merchant Bankers Berhad Cimb in 1986 as a result of BCB replacing Bank Pertanian as the controlling shareholders of PBS. Corporate finance remained Cimb's main focus and stockbroking was added to its range of services. Product consumer banking, corporate banking, investment banking, Islamic banking, asset management, insurance and takaful. Target market. Target market consumer who use banking and finance services. Profit revenue. Percentage profit revenue. Number of workers. Malaysia 16,699, Singapore 1,400, all over the world 36,104, 2018. Customer complaints. Cimb Bank poor customer management. On 27 August 2019, I went to Cimb branch at SS15 Subang Jaya to get new mobile number update for my Cimb service. Counter staff directed me to ATM machine and I managed to change. After a few days, I called Cimb customer service as I noticed my credit card transactions direct tag pin to my old number. They asked me go to branch to fill in form or email. 12 September 2019, I emailed and today already 25th September 2019, there is no update and I have been having hard time with my transaction. Cimb getting useless day by day. Cimb Bank did not process my checkbook request. Hi, I want to lodge on a complaint regarding vendor Satya Alam branch. I went to this branch on 18 October 2019 afternoon around 3 p.m. I went to apply a new request checkbook for one of my individual current accounts. There is a lady staff who attended to my queries without taking the number to upstairs. So I did the thumbprint verification and filled in the form for the request. She has informed me about the process will take about 5 working days. So I called customer service number today 2015-10-2019 after 1 week request. However, customer service said that they did not receive any checkbook request for this account. I urgently need to use the check and it has caused another 1 to 2 weeks delay. What kind of irresponsible service? Where is the form whereby I have filled in on 18-10-2019? Cimb Bank declared for retention forms for full settlement payment personal loan. I am Matai Malot Balakrishnan. On 21st, I went for Kawangan Cimb Bank Nusa West Street. Could I apply for retention full settlement? Cimb Bank sent immediately email to them. I told it's urgent since I'm working in Singapore, it's difficult to get off. Unfortunately, I haven't get any response from Cimb. On Thursday, I went Kawangan Cimb again. They verbalized should receive on Thursday or Friday. If still haven't received, direct call customer service Cimb. On Thursday, I called many times but no one attend call. On Friday, I called again, then one of staff answered call. The name I never get through. He said he do report to proceed immediately. Will get through on Friday from email. Then only verify my contact number but did not receive anything. On Monday, no reply. Today, I spoke again with customer service Cimb staff but did not get ID and name. Then he said still on process. 21st, till now I never get any response for my case. I told it's urgent. Said well inform who's in job for my case will contact again, verify my number. When I asked what time can call, he said not sure. I told if I receive by today I will settle my payment and get it to close account. Previously if I delayed for make payment not one time many times make call and disturbing me. But now I don't want to make full settlement. Why they don't want to do immediately and may delay, kindly take action for my case.
What is ideology? An ideology is a set of opinions or beliefs of a group or an individual. Very often, ideology refers to a set of political beliefs or a set of ideas that characterize a particular culture. Capitalism, communism, socialism, and Marxism are ideologies. What is the ideology of Singapore? Singaporean Communitarianism is the belief that a perfect society relies not of ambition of personal individualism, but rather consists of responsibilities of cohesive communal structures. While Singapore has tolerated individualism behavior among the people, the decision should be morally acceptable from the society's point of view. For example, while it is acceptable for the banking to seek profits, the important thing is that this should not be done at the expense of the society. Collectivism. The collectivist culture has preference to work together and share rewards more than striving for individual recognition, sharing responsibilities, helping each other, and learning from each other. The younger generation of Singaporean exhibits more individualistic traits than the older generation. The kind of ideology in Singapore helps Cimb easy to work together with them to develop their banking sector in a different ways. To provide a good banking skills a company needs individualistic and sharing responsibilities. Is Singapore a socialist or capitalist country? It is estimated that the Singapore government through the MASIC and GIC own companies that accounts for more than 60% plus of the market capitalization of the Singapore Stock Exchange. This helped them in their banking sector to make a larger firm. Capitalism is the greatest champion, however, and this is not well appreciated. Capitalism is an ideology with a free market is a system of resource allocation, as any ideology is free to adopt any allocation process. Culture of Singapore. How are their spending culture? Singapore takes pride in having one of the most vibrant and fastest growing online marketing industries in South Asia. Reports indicates that the most Singaporeans prefer shopping online to get better bargains and deals from the various e-commerce sites in the country. Singaporeans are also the fastest adopters of mobile shopping in the world, despite the fact that the country's e-commerce industry is relatively new. The change in consumer behavior will power the next global retail revolution and continue to improve the economy of country. While Cimb have also updated with online bank like Clicks app in the phone or even in the net so that the Singaporean mostly spend their money through online, so it might take more easy for their transaction process. Many companies do their transactions through online, so those Clicks are secure enough to keep all their transactions safe.
Economy of Singapore. The economy of Singapore is a highly developed free market economy. Singapore's economy has been ranked as the most open in the world, third least corrupt, most pro-business with low tax rate 14.2% of gross domestic product (GDP), and has the third highest per capita GDP in the world in terms of purchasing power parity (PPP). APEC is headquartered in Singapore. Singapore economic growth. Economic growth should accelerate next year on the back of robust domestic demand and a pickup in investment expenditure, with the external sector is seen bouncing back from a poor showing this year, which should support manufacturing. Risk, however, remain titled to the downside due to external headwinds, chiefly from the lingering US-China trade war. Focus economics panelists expect the economy to grow 1.6% in 2020, which is down 0.2 percentage points from last month and 2.3% in 2021. Singapore's GDP. The gross domestic product (GDP) in Singapore expanded 0.60% in the third quarter of 2019 over the previous quarter. GDP growth rate in Singapore averaged 6.57% from 1975 until 2019. reaching an all-time high of 27.20% in the second quarter of 2010 and a record low of 10.90% in the third quarter of 2010. The gross domestic product (GDP) in Singapore was worth 364.16 billion US dollars in 2018. The GDP value of Singapore represents 0.59% of the world economy. GDP in Singapore averaged 86.13 billion US dollars from 1960 until 2018, reaching an all-time high of $364.16 billion in 2018 and a record low of $0.70 billion in 1960. Singapore's inflation rate. Singapore annual inflation rate came at 0.5% in September 2019 on a month-on-month basis. Consumer prices were flat in September after a 0.5% gain in August. Inflation rate in Singapore averaged 2.56% from 1962 until 2019, reaching an all-time high of 34.30% in March of 1974 and a record low of -3.10% in September of 1976. Interest rate of Singapore. The benchmark interest rate in Singapore was last recorded at 1.72%. Interest rate in Singapore averaged 1.66% from 1988 until 2019, reaching an all-time high of 20% in January of 1990 and a record low of -0.75% in October of 1993. SIBOR is a reference rate based on the interest rates at which banks offer to lend unsecured funds to each other in a Singapore interbank market. In Singapore, the monetary policy decisions are taken by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, Penguasa Kewangan Singapura. The Monetary Authority of Singapore does not control the monetary system by the monitoring interest rate. Instead, it manages the Singapore dollar (SGD) exchange rate against a trade with basket of currencies of Singapore major trading partners and competitors. Currency in Singapore. The Singapore dollar is the currency of Singapore. Our currency ranking shows that the most popular Singapore dollar exchange rate is the SGD and MYO rate. The currency code for dollars is SGD and the currency symbol is dollar symbol. What is the monetary policy in Singapore? Monetary policy in Singapore is centered on the exchange rate. In the small and open Singapore economy, the exchange rate is the more effective tool for maintaining price stability. Monetary policy in Singapore is centered on managing the trade-weighted exchange rate with the objective to ensure price stability over the medium terms as a basis for sustainable economic growth. Customization that done by Cimb. Customization of product. In order for Cimb to be fit in the market of Singapore, they need to customize some of their product, focus on cross-border difference in needs and want of the target customer. Cimb appropriately changing product in order to match local market conditions. Some of the product that introduced and customized in the Singapore market: accounts, Cimb first server account, deposit I account, loans, overseas property loan, credit cards, cash line, Cimb clicks for card. Conclusion: Singapore is the middle hub economy between Europe, United States and Asia. Singapore is the best country to venture in as the stronghold belief of the capitalism, open hub market and not forget strong currency strength that investors confidently rest assured with their economy stable. Even big gigantic business in the world explore their market in Singapore that make benefit to Cimb Bank. Singapore, the country itself, have their strong business strategy and business plan that welcome investors all over the world in their market.